Now, if someone was to ask you the difference between being wealthy and being rich, what kind of a response would you offer the person? Or are you in that group of people that believes that being rich and being wealthy is the same thing? Or are you a person who knows that there is a difference between the two, but you cannot really tell what is the difference between being rich and being wealthy? Now, that is the kind of conversation that I intend to initiate in this video. Like, if you check your financial goals, assuming that you already have some in place, whether it is in your mind or it is they are written down somewhere, are your goals taking you towards being rich, or are they taking you towards being wealthy? And what is the difference between the two? What is superior than the other? So, to start with, I think we all know the definition of being rich. It is having a lot of money. I think that is straightforward. There's no debate about that. Being rich entails being having a lot of money. That is the definition of being rich. But what is the definition of being wealthy on the other side? So I think we can give the definition of being wealthy as the state of having assets that get to generate income or get to generate cash flows. Here you have cash, you are rich. But if you happen to have assets that generate cash flows or income, now you can be considered to be wealthy. That is the basic difference between being rich and being wealthy. If you have a lot of cash, you are rich. If you have assets that get to generate income from time to time, then you are considered to be wealthy. Then it is interesting to say that for you to be rich, you only require to have money. But on the other end, for you to be wealthy, you need to have money and have some financial intelligence. So why is it so? Because you need to have money and get that financial intelligence of knowing how you can manage the money that you have, how you can use the money that you have to acquire assets that will get to generate income in future. So that is how you become wealthy. You need some money and also some financial intelligence. So if you have money and you don't have the financial intelligence, you stop at the point of being rich, but you cannot be wealthy. And someone else interestingly defines being rich as an illusion of being wealthy. You are trying to do things that will portray you as wealthy, but in the real sense, you are just rich. So being rich is characterized by things like luxurious vehicles, big houses, a good sense of fashion, partying, drinking a lot. Like, you can just throw a party every weekend. You have the cash, so you are rich. Like, if you are rich, it definitely portrays you as a person who is doing better financially than everyone else that is surrounding you. On the other hand, being wealthy is just being able to, you can survive even without getting involved in your day-to-day job. Being rich, once the money is gone, you need to go back and some fight and get to fight another money. But being rich means that it gets to a point that you can survive even without being engaged in an economically activity, in any economic activity. And the other difference between being rich and being wealthy is that richness is measured in terms of money. Like, you can quote a figure of the money that you hold, and if it is a lot, will will get to classify you as being rich. But it's interesting that interesting that being wealthy is measured on in terms of time. How is it measured of in terms of time? It is measured in terms of time because it is an indicator of how long can you survive maintaining the same standard that you are living now without getting actively involved in an economic activity. Like, for how long can you stay without working, get to survive, and get to maintain the same living standards? Like, let's say you spend 10,000 a month. Okay, that's just an assumption that when all your expenses are brought together, you get to spend 10,000. In your bank account you have 30,000. Ile unasemanga niko na 200 mbele nyuma, so tuseme uko na 30,000 mbele nyuma, and your expenditure per month is 10k. So it means that without getting involved in a job, you can survive for 3 months. So it means that your wealth is 3 months. You are 3 months wealthy. That is the amount of time for which you can survive maintaining the same standards you are living now without going to that your job, to that your business. So your wealth is measured in terms of time. So that is how you can measure your wealth. And it does not necessarily mean that people who are wealthy are not interested in the fine things in life. Definitely they are, but it's all about being able to prioritize your expenditure or something. You could you could decide to have some delayed gratifications and get to purchase some assets that will keep generating income in the future. So I don't know, from the differences that we have given, do you prefer being rich or do you prefer being wealthy? Are your goals working towards being rich or being wealthy? Ebu mniambie hapo kwa comment section whether you prefer being rich or you prefer being wealthy, or what is superior between being rich and being wealthy. Ebu mniambie.